Hey, welcome back. Who are we calling forth?
You know, just because I want to see you suffer, I want it to be Angel.
No, she's gone forever.
No, let's call her back in. Let's get back in here.
I found her dead in the parking lot.
I strangled her.
Yeah.
I fully killed her. Just so I'd never have to hear from her again. It's Lana. The defendant, Miss Lana Sky. She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth.
No, not my orders. Oh, the prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well, the court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now
Hold on.
Huh? Chief Kent, I thought you were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana.
He's here to threaten her. Not just that, Judge. He's not gone to eat. He's gone to threaten her again.
Just give me a moment.
He's talking to Lana.
I don't think you need me to tell you this. But if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences.
Well, he just really out publicly threatens her.
That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
This isn't good.
Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then, I've got a lunch date to meet.
We're really just gonna allow that? Judge, you can't allow what was just said. That was blackmail to your face.
He's the chief of police.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You can say whatever.
Let me just give him the respect he deserves of sucking my dick.
It's not exactly blackmail. It's just saying that, hey, if you testify, then...
If you talk, I will prosecute your sister.
No, it's that your sister will be found guilty.
This isn't a trial on whether or not she did it.
No, but she will. It will. And also, we find the truth here. That's what the purpose of this trial is.
Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
Woohoo!
Now that he's threatened her, let's go!
I'm going on a slide.
Tag, you're it.
You motherfucker. Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
You know I told you I hate having my clothes touched.
No tight backsies.
Edgeworth would be that type of tag player. I told you, Edgeworth, we're not playing like that.
It'll be unfair.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth. Oh, he just ran away.
You won't get me.
That chief he's something else, huh, pals? Detective Gumshoe. I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Don't worry. I've already decided where to work now. At your office. My office? Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. What do you mean? Mamma Mia. I guess it'd be Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia.
Still, looks like we're all out of moves
That should be in the next Ace Still game. It's just Maya in her 50s. Call me Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. Here I go again. I read that line.
Oh, you did.
Chief Gant's done it again.
He's done it again.
Duke Boys have done it again. How is it? He always gets the upper hand. It's not fair. He has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said.
My chief, That's not right. You can't be folk. There are certain risks to be considered. I don't recall him saying it like that. Risks. What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too?
Emma, are you okay?
Yeah. When I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
They've been punching me in the stomach till I woke up. So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. I think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
Also, if we get Gant out of there, chief prosecutor can say we're not gonna charge this person. They can choose whether or not to go forth with the trial.
I suppose so, but we will be obstructing justice.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
A murderer was dealt with. Manslaughter? Not yet.
Yeah. We got one of them, alright?
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders, she wants to shut herself up deep inside. Force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
My father. Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with its forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see. Well, we better go back. Get back. It's time for the final act. Emma, I'm not dancing this dance.
I'm not tangoing this tango.
You gotta go do it yourself. Go yell at your sister to tell the truth. Emma, why don't you wait?
No, I'm going with you.
Oh, she really is gonna go yell at her sister to tell the truth.
I want to be there when Lana tells the truth. Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this.
You wanna go on a date afterwards?
Don't... We're at work. Afterwards.
It's recess still.
We're at work.
It's recess?
I have to focus. Stop flirting with me.
It's a dinner date. I'm not flirting. You'll see flirting at that dinner date. I'm just gonna show up pantsless.
I had the same idea.
Then we'll match. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand?
Paw Patrol underwear?
No, I got my adventures on.
Miss Lana Sky, you're the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. For the Searchworth. You already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Contradictions. That's what we gotta find. Contradictions. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. So none of those silly answers. We want to hear the truth.
Don't be silly. Of course. The truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Now then, now that that brat has talked, she's not gonna tell us shit! Your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get gained. Now for you, I really do have to find contradictions. Because I know you're going to lie to me.
I worked alongside Gan for years. There's no truth through this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dirk convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana!
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
But what if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Like, ah!
Agony!
Yeah. This is no time to start second-guessing myself. Get the water gun. Every time she lies, I'll spray her.
Pew, 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 pew.
Tell the truth.
He's got a gun! Fucking...
Came in for the save.
Yeah. Fucking cat pressed the thing. Look, I worked alongside Gen for years.
How many exactly?
Just double checking? Just double checking? Just double checking? What's the fucking thing? Dude? Who? Fit the screen? Okay. Just in case the cat moved the fucking display. Okay, we're fine.
What display?
Huh?
There are cameras?
I ruined the illusion! Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see. I was 24 then, so that'll be 5 years.
Detective Gant and Detective, I've got a yawn. Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia.
Dan again was a respectable detective. That's why.
He helped me forward.
There's no truth to this blackmail theory.
But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail.
You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you
Look me in my eyes!
Any testimony you can present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. And
you're gonna look me in the eyes.
I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Beep. Oh, boo.
Did you do so to help your sister?
Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
What she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. Lana.
So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago.
Oh, boo. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene.
So that's where I'll tear you apart. Got it.
Yeehaw. Yeah, yeehaw.
You say you did this all by yourself.
Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? Seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
False. What? There was no knife in the body. Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying around a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
Oh, just to protect me. More lies with more lies with more lies.
So, when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, and moved the body.
You planted the tip of Dark's knife into the body? And then moved it?
But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. Why'd you plant the knife? Not the knife. Why'd you move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body.
The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan.
Pieces of the jar, you mean?
Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle.
I see. What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
Must be a contradiction here somewhere.
Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Emma!
So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer?
How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period.
Are you so desperate to hide the fact? Hide that fact? Willing to risk a death sentence?
She's lying! She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened! In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. Wright, my sister's lying!
Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated the evidence by herself.
There's no way she could have done it alone!
I've got to get Lana to talk more. She's lying, and she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction.
What am I doing? Yo, what am I doing?
There's so much shit that was said.
Yeah. Oh, there's a new statement. So, this was a new statement.
Piece of jar that shattered during the event threatened my plan. You mean the one that was in Gant's locker?
One piece was in the locker.
Yeah, but is that the one that threatened her plan?
No, the blood was wiped away. You think they purposely made it Morse code or whatever? Okay. But what's the problem with this statement?
He's the jar that shattered her.
Yeah, what's odd about that?
How would the pieces of the jar? You wouldn't be able to read it if it was shattered.
No.
You'd have to put... She would have to put it slightly together to read the name.
She didn't need to... She'll explain that. But... think about it beforehand.
What, the fact that it had a name on it?
A legible name, yeah?
So am I trying to point out it was wiped off?
No.
No.
So, read this statement.
This is the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan.
Okay, so what would be the opposite of that?
The opposite of that.
Yeah.
I would assume pieces of the jar would be opposite, would just be the jar.
Nope. Nothing to do with the pieces of the jar. So the rest of the sentence?
During the events threatened my plan.
So what's the opposite?
Their plan? What am I looking for the opposite? What do you mean, what's the opposite? That's not that statement doesn't make sense to me. What's the opposite of events? I don't fucking know. One thing happening? What do you want? Or the fact that she's calling it her plan.
No. Not that part, no. I don't have CPs. It's not the pieces of the jar. It's not threatened my plan.
I assume it's the events, but I don't understand what the opposite of an event is.
Not the events.
Or am I supposed to go during?
Okay. So if it was not during,
It was before or after.
so why do you think it was either before or after?
Are you trying to get me to say it's because the jar wasn't shattered till recently?
No, so I have to spell it out then, I guess. Look at the jar,
Yes.
okay? What is like the incriminating thing that's on this jar?
It's the blood.
Okay, and the blood does what? What does it symbolize?
I mean, it's him writing who did it.
Okay. So think of him writing that name.
It would be before it was shattered. Because I would assume it's because you can't spell the blood while it was shattered.
There you go, yeah. You can't exactly write a name on broken, a perfect name on broken pieces. You got one. You got one.
You went from, right, let me break this down for you, to, it's just one word that you need to flip.
Yeah.
You didn't say it was one word you
No.
need to flip. You said, all right, now break it down into phrases. All right,
Yeah.
now let's do the opposite of that.
Yeah, doing the events. What is the opposite of doing the events? After, before, you know? It is not doing the events. So you gotta find out what the contradiction of
Also-
doing the events is.
Also, when you say what's the opposite, that's normally like a 50-50, not two answers.
There was something.
When I say what's the opposite of day, you say night. You don't say afternoon.
There were some things that are the opposite of that are separate things. What is the opposite of on, off, disabled, stuff like that? You know, those different words.
Those are synonyms. After and before are not synonyms.
They're antonyms.
My statement still stands. After and before are not antonyms. They don't mean the same thing.
Yeah, they're antonyms. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get you to look at for.
No, I'm pointing out the fact that on, or the off, and a bunch of different words for off mean the same thing. After and before don't mean the same thing as during.
Yeah, but it still means that that statement is wrong.
It doesn't mean the opposite, though.
It does.
Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
Contradiction? In my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on the jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly. So, and this is where the contradiction lies?
I gotta tell him I'll get a call. Boring.
Answer it, just yell, there are contradictions! In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. Order, order!
And plus he needs his blood to do it, so...
Get off my case! Get off of my case!
Just to clarify!
Fucking up on one issue.
No, I'm clarifying. the jar had to be shattered after he died. Because he has to write the blood on. He needs blood. You need blood.
No, I don't. I have none.
I have ectoplasm.
I got you. Ghostbusters was right. It's actually just green.
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and his bloody message. You may be missing something critical here.
Clarkson!
Bloody message.
Something critical.
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you are as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we are heading. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
And I won't tell everybody that you shit your pants.
Who did? Lana or Edgeworth?
Everybody.
Oh.
Courtroom stinks.
My voice is the brown noise.
The perfect note. Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony.
Jar message blood? I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out.
So I kicked the
To be
jar
safe.
and broke it.
To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you're the one who wiped away the message in the blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Doug was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. I'm gonna push you on 27 different statements.
Stupid. She only had like 5. I merely noticed the blood traces on the jar.
Probably because it spelled out your sister's name.
How could she tell? If it was shattered.
Because it wasn't shattered. We've already pointed this out.
No, she's saying it was shattered.
Yeah, we said it wasn't. So the jar was already broken.
It's a miracle that thing had it broken earlier.
It certainly looks as feeble as the defendant's case. Oh, I'm also laughing at Lana, too. Yikes. Not as feeble as the judge's judgment.
You're a nice detective. A celebrity who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on that jar pieces? Normally I would have. Why am I inferior to you? But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out.
Why aren't you facing me?
You're some criminal trash living in an attic.
So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar?
No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust.
Well, that helps my case.
Lana, you'd do that for me?
Don't encourage her right now!
Oh?
Seems you two might make up yet.
Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came.
So why did you make it look like they were having coitus?
Fantasies.
This is rather shocking.
To be safe, I wiped away the blood.
Yeah, but how do you wipe away the blood on... What'd you use to wipe away the blood on broken pieces? Also, why would you need to wipe away the blood?
Just in case it's incriminating.
Incriminating for who?
Oh, Emma. for somebody because.
Emma wasn't bleeding.
Okay. Yep. You know what? You got it. You got it.
There's nothing on it that would have been incriminating, especially if it was already broken.
If it was already broken, just to be safe, because she's seen this before, she's a detective, she's going to wipe away the blood.
I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean?
If you really thought Dar killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood.
What else could I have done in that situation? Lana, I only had a few moments. It wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all.
Well, you missed a piece.
Okay.
But how could you see with the power out? Should have been pitch black in that office.
A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go.
That's a lot more weird than something that actually might help you if the power goes out.
I never miss anything. I got every last piece.
Power goes out, you start spraying luminol, and then you pull out a black light to see if it lights up.
It could be like a pepper spray. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
So you illegally rearranged the crime scene.
Yes. I don't have any excuse for my actions. I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I treated you so badly all this time.
It's not too late. You could treat her worse.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of time to make up for it. Come on, yell at her. You'll feel better afterwards.
Call it obscenities.
After we've gotten to the bottom of this incident.
No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of my underwear. The prosecutor's office.
All contradictions have surfaced in her testimony.
Your sister's really putting up a fight. Must really care about it. Still, she's not doing this the right way. She's being a real bitch, is what I'm trying to tell you. I think I finally figured out the contradictions in her testimony. If I know one person who taught me anything, I'm going to have to do this by interpretive dance.
Yeah.
There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Hi-cha-cha-cha-cha. Also, one of the handles is still broken.
Oh, my God.
I just want to let you know I didn't do it. I don't know where that piece.
No, I didn't do it.
Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of the jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about the final piece. There was still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night of the prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you.
Yes.
Boo-boo. Just like the fucking egg stealers in Spyro.
Oh. Last time I played Spyro was like 10 years ago. My God.
Missing out. Remaster's pretty fun.
I do.
I really do like the remaster. They did a good job.
Playing it now.
Yep, this is the end of the series.
Yeah.
We're cutting it here. Yeah. We're gonna put that on. We're gonna play it.
But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece?
Something that large? Unlikely. I'm afraid it's unlikely. The pieces are too big. What's right, actually? That's shocking. Anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
A celebrity!
Get out of here. You're fired.
Why am I inferior to you? I was very particular about my grades, my public image, so someone would have me around. But you're just some criminal trash living in an attic. So how? How do you have things that I don't? How can such a worthless piece of trash be more special than me?
Because you're already dead.
Oh. Dull.
Shucks.
That may well be, But everyone makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along.
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that!
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time he was looking for Dark downstairs, remember? Besides, I don't know where I got remember.
Why would he break the jar?
Why would he break the jar?
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the facts for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? We're gonna start picking your testimony apart.
No! Wait, I'm not the one on trial here.
Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposely hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication of evidence.
Oh, yes, that's right.
But why would Chief Gant do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Sky believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aids, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason.
I wonder if those were Jared's aides.
They're just two dudes.
Be as subtle as possible, not to mention which Jared.
The reason why Miss Sky became the chief's puppet. No. I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief.
You bite your finger like that, you're gonna cause yourself to bleed.
I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client.
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
I've done nothing but tell the truth. Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
He just hunches down on the table.
Did I hurt your feelings?
Why are you being a little bitch boy? Get it together!
Lana may be right after all.
What do you mean, right? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright?
The foulest! Miss Sky, please testify once more.
But I'm over here. No, the other one! But
evidence was fabricated behind your back. That Emma's accidental killing of the prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Sky, if you will.
I can't.
No, you're gonna look at me when I ask these questions.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there's a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth.
Let me lie.
Very well.
You tell the truth.
I'll testify about what I really saw.
No, I don't trust her. Alright, the witness may testify once more for the final time.
Actual crime scene! It was my bedroom.
There was blood everywhere!
Oh my God, what the fuck? When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me to remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
All we had to do was give her a hypothetical.
Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armor's sword! The sword!
You're the only one who saw that. If only you had proof.
The tip of it's covered in blood. Still.
Actually, I do have proof.
I brought the sword with me.
I brought the dead body!
She just pulls out Marshall's rotting corpse.
I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Well, I must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Guess I gotta read that book one more time.
Very well. Mr. Wright, please present this picture.
I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said that she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
Like the cover of this children's book!
My God. Evidence law! Copyright people.
Really? Yeah, you can't. You couldn't have opened the book at all when you looked at it.
This is the back page. You think he will read the whole thing?
You don't have to read all of it to look at the back page. I look at the back page of my books.
You do? Oh, you want to get spoiled?
No, I don't read the last pages.
My God.
Lack
of integrity with reading here.
Where it's tucked in. You can read info about the book. I read that.
Hey, guys, look at this nerd. He's reading parts on the book nobody touches.
Fucking
I don't know what a looba dooba is, but don't you ever fucking call me it again.
Fucking looba dooba.
I'll get you with my mob boss voice.
Hey, it makes me cry every time I do that voice.
Because it's so bad.
There's a picture here. My ears can't take it, so I just start leaking tears of not joy.
Oh my. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene.
I'm sorry. Did George Takei show up for a second?
Oh my.
Oh,
George Takei. Was it a buffalo or a bison? No other detective saw the crime scene like this.
Wrong. It was a deer.
What? Sir, I'm pretty sure that was the same thing. We'll find out. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything. On a picture! Crime scene 2. Fuck. Crime scene photo from the case 2 years ago. Taken.
Oh, I love Liam Neeson.
Mr. Wright, a piece cut off from the vest. Could that be?
The cloth was found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this? Yeah, remember this? It lined up for your hand.
Uh-oh. This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are, it must be the real murderer.
Yikes. What? With those fingerprints? Yours, Emma.
Why are your lips turning purple? That's right. Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, you should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Let's give her a hypothetical. Maybe it was because he went to, he got Emma out of the way, so she touched his vest.
Ooh. Give me water. I need to perform.
Not that her big, greasy claws.
Big, meaty claws! What did you just say? Big, meaty claws!
I'm more interested in how they stained his vest. How oily was her hand? That she touched leather and it stained it.
Oh, it's more like an imprint. Actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor.
No. You don't have the right to interrupt.
Come now, OG. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Chief Gant!
What? Now do you want to make Walter Big B out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense.
You can't do that.
I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort.
This must be that risk we were talking about earlier.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you.
A little bit, yeah.
But I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence?
No, I don't! But someone does.
Someone?
So, what's your excuse, Righto?
Listen, I'm not John and Wright.
Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right?
He tried to get Frappuccino on me!
No!
It just looks confused why it's up there. You look at her and she's like, I don't know.
fuck!
I don't know how I got up here. What am I doing here? What was that all for?
Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt.
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
Well, we're gonna find out if it's true in
Not the X, the X naps.
the next episode. So think of watching this episode of Ace Turning Mixed Like Script and up enough to be open. Cheers.
Every day.
Bye!